Welcome to PR After Hours, your weekly cocktail of news and interviews with leading thinkers in PR, marketing, and business. So pull up a chair in our virtual lounge. Your host, Alex Greenwood, will be right back after this.
There's a whole lot of crazy going on in the world these days. I think we all know that. Even if you're listening to this 10 years after it's recorded, there's probably a whole lot of crazy still going on. But today in 2022, we're looking at some serious issues with cybersecurity. A lot of it due to what's going on with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russia is a huge player when it comes to phishing attacks, ransomware, malware, all kinds of scams. And I think that it's just going to get worse as the Russian economy continues to feel the effects of being sanctioned off the face of the earth practically. So I think there's something I want to make sure you're looking into for your personal and business security on the internet. Make sure that your passwords are not ridiculously easy to hack into. I can't believe I have to say it. And honestly, most of you listening are already ahead of the game on this, but it's surprising how many people don't think about this. There was a list that was released from mobile security firm Lookout. It was a list of 20 passwords most commonly found in leaked account information on the dark web. The list ranges from simple number and letter sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and QWERTY to easily typed phrases like I love you. Choosing an easy to remember password is understandable. They say the average person has more than 100 different online accounts requiring passwords. Oh, amen, brother. Geez, so many. And simple passwords can be extremely easy, though, for hackers to figure out. You know, you're making it easier on yourself. Oh, I'll make, the Netflix password the same as my bank account password. Who's going to want to hack little old me, right? Well, I assure you, it can happen. It happened to me a few years ago. I spent an entire day, started about 5 in the morning, I think, when I got a text from Sprint saying that somebody in the Dominican Republic had purchased, I think, 8 phones. And then I went and looked, and it turned out that somebody apparently had gotten into my email. I stupidly, in a draft email, had left some passwords to my PayPal, which they were starting to use to purchase all kinds of other crap. And let's just say this, I spent about a 14-hour day working with PayPal, my bank, Google, everybody to try and get this shut down. And I did, but man, did I learn a valuable lesson about this. So take it from me. I'm not sitting here pontificating as if, oh, I would never do that, because I did do it. I apparently had a ridiculously stupid password on my Gmail account. And you know what? I have WordFence on my company website, and WordFence tells me that I get attacked constantly. Thankfully, I've got great password protection, and WordFence, by the way, I highly recommend. They're not paying me to say this, but I do recommend WordFence to protect your WordPress site in particular. If you have any questions about that, feel free to get in touch with me. But let's talk about some of those crazy passwords, the top 20 ones most commonly found on the dark web due to data breaches. Okay, I've already mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can imagine that somebody's like, I'm not that stupid. I'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's a good one. The aforementioned QWERTY. Oh, here's an old favorite, password. Now, I guess you could kind of shake that one up, and you could do a capital P and then do an A and then do a $W0RD. But trust me, folks, they'll get through that pretty quickly too. Oh, here's a great one on number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have time for that extra 6, and I'm going to roll the dice. Then there's plenty more variations on that theme. There's the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There's 1 through 7, 1 through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, QWERTY 1, 2, 3, 1Q2 W3E, all caps, default. Oh, this is the minimalist one here. The number 0. There you go. ABC 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to be singing the Jackson 5 all day, but yeah, ABC 1, 2, 3. Now here's one. This is a pretty sneaky person. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, they're going backwards here. There's other strings of numbers and more I love yous and 666. Oh, there's just so many different variations on this. The one thing I didn't see, and I guess it's because the X-Files has kind of fallen off pop culture radar, was Trust No One, which was mine back, my first password I think was Trust No One. I thought I was so smart. Who would know that? Well, just every damn X-Files fan in the world probably knew that. But anyway, if you use any of the above passwords, or you know anybody who you think might do that, let them know. Let them listen to this. And by the way, if you are doing that, I'm not making fun of you. As I already said, I'm making fun of myself. I did some of this stuff in the past. I don't want to tell you that my Gmail password was quite as bad as some of these, but obviously it was weak enough that somebody could crack into it. And I paid the price, literally. Well, that my credit card company did too, but I got out of there and I fixed it. And now I don't keep any drafts in my Gmail. And of course, the password is crazy hard to get into. There's a link to a website I'm going to try and remember to put on here where it will tell you, it's a password strength program, passwordmonster.com. Take the password test, and they have a tip here. It's often better to have longer passwords than shorter, more complex ones. Well, I'm going to put in the password for my Gmail, as I mentioned. And here's what I plug it in. It's very strong, is what they're saying. The time to crack the password, if a bank of computers were working on it with a hacker, 2 trillion years. So if you got 2 trillion years, you might be able to break into my crazy Gmail and then just find out that all it is a bunch of people hitting me up for SEO or to guest post somewhere, not for me to do it, but for them to pay me or give me a free guest post. That seems to be most of my Gmails these days. So 2 trillion years. Can you do that? Can you match that? Well, passwordmonster.com is a good one. Just remember also the U.S. Commerce Department's National Institute of Standards and Technology recommends screening your passwords against online lists of compromised passwords and using multi-factor authentication, among other security tactics. You know what? If it's anything to do with money in particular, it's two-factor authentication. It's a pain, I know that, but I think for now, passwords are the most common way we're going to get through this. I do have some biotech, like my phone can open with my face, and my fingerprint can be used at home on my laptop and things like that. But in general, when it comes to my money, I have a solid password that would take at least 2 trillion years for somebody to crack into. Let's be safe out there, folks.
You know what that means? It's last call here at the Virtual Lounge. Be sure to visit prafterhours.com for links to what we discussed in this episode and more. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And join us next time for another round at PR After Hours with Alex Greenwood.